Hello, Ian.
Hi, Steve. How you doing?
Good.
Sorry.
Thank you for agreeing to have a chat with us and share your experience with other customers who may be interested in going down the same route with a roof lantern blind as you have. But I just wanted to ask you to explain what was the experience, what provoked you to actually contact some suppliers to look at roof lantern blinds in the first place.
Okay, so our room here is an extension to our original property, and we decided to put a roof lantern in. And it wasn't really until sort of the pandemic, where working from home became a bit more of the norm, that we suddenly realised that during the peak periods of the day, the TV, which is on the wall opposite me, became a mirror, purely and simply because of the amount of light that was streaming through the roof lantern, and we had no ability whatsoever to control that. So rather than sit and look at myself constantly, we decided to start looking in earnest at a roof blind, effectively.
Yeah, and what options did you look at?
So there was plenty out on the market that we could find, from do-it-yourself kits to top-end professional establishments and organisations. And we contacted a great number of them, and eventually found WindowTreat and Mr. Gargett, Chris Gargett, who was excellent in terms of his communication. And it was really the Zoom meeting that we had with him after a number of pre-scheduled telephone conversations and emails that we decided to go with WindowTreat.
And do you remember what Chris took you through?
Yes, indeed. Part and parcel of the Zoom meeting was a presentation, and the presentation was specifically sort of guided towards exactly what we were after in terms of the size of roof lantern we had, and having discussed the various options for materials, he'd included within that presentation different features of the materials available, which gave us somewhat of a guide as to what we could actually achieve with WindowTreat.
Oh, fantastic. So I think he sent some samples out to you to have a look at, so you could sort of just establish what fabric you wanted to. And I think then we provided some more afterwards of the darker fabrics for you to choose from.
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. So during our conversations with Chris, materials weren't that big an issue for myself, but clearly for my wife, who unfortunately can't be with us today, she was red hot, for want of a better phrase, in relation to it, and wanted to get it right. Absolutely, why would you not? Chris took us through that during that presentation, took us through several materials that he thought might just fit the bill for us. And we were able to get several samples sent out, and we had a look, and sort of our big quandary was that we didn't want a complete blackout of the room, but we still wanted a certain percentage of light to filter through. And it was a big deal for my wife. We communicated again with Chris. He sent out some more swatches. And eventually we settled on one which we felt was right for us, and as it turns out, was absolutely superb.
Yeah, and the trick is, I think you went for a dark one, so the light transmission is low enough to watch television. You can get an awful lot of light through the roof lantern.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we're now down to sort of 1%, but it creates quite a nice room in terms of viewing for the TV. Not only that, is that when it's actually closed against the white sort of ceiling, it actually is it's quite a feature, and people do comment on it.
Fantastic. And then of course you had the survey to make sure it was millimeter perfect, and the installation. Could you just run us through how that went?
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. I mean, in terms of the survey, I think it probably lasted maybe sort of half an hour, 40 minutes. And then there was a general chat afterwards with the gentleman that came out. What was quite nice is that having spoken to Chris, we then had the survey conducted by the same engineer who eventually would do our fit. So there was it was seamless, for want of a better word, and gave us a sense of, you know what, we're in good hands. He was very knowledgeable. He actually looked at our samples in terms of the swatches, and he in turn gave us a little bit of a steer, which finalised our selection. We were left in no doubt that we were being dealt with superbly. Yeah, we were very, very happy.
Yeah, and if you don't mind me, you met Henry the Hoover, of course. We try and have a white glove service without the white gloves, but as close to it as possible when we install. So, you know, it's full respect to your property, and making sure we leave it as clean as possible when we're going through and installing.
Yeah, the two lads that came out, as I say, the same engineer that did the survey. So he knew us, we knew him. Very, very quick, very clean, very tidy, and very helpful, to be fair. I'd actually suffered a bad knee injury at the time, and he offered to clean the window for me, which I thought was a really, really nice touch. He didn't have to do that, and I was absolutely gobsmacked, if I'm honest. Not the greatest of words, but yeah, really, really good. You mentioned Henry the Hoover. I've never seen a Henry the Hoover with a 10-meter hose in my life. So the Hoover was outside, and the guys were inside 2 meters plus up at the roof lantern. Very tidy, very clean, very efficient, and the end product, in terms of a fit, was absolutely superb. Really, really nice. We've had so many comments about it. It's quiet, it's clean, it looks as though it was always part of the actual build, as much as it's an addition. It's a great feature.
And you've been through one summer with it, so it's not been the hottest of summers this year, but we have had a few days that crept over 32 degrees. How's that been? Has it made a difference?
Yeah, absolutely. There was a couple of weeks back in the distant past now, but it really is quite a sun trap here. We've got a very cloudy day at the moment, and you can see the wall at the back of me. It's quite bright. And that having that ability to just shut the blind off and reduce the light, but also the temperature in the room, is very beneficial. This room can get extremely hot. We've got bifold doors, which we occasionally have to open fully during the day, just purely and simply to get some ventilation in and get rid of that heat. But effectively, this blind now affords us the ability to actually control the amount of heat that's coming in. We have two animals here who I never gave a second thought about the actual sort of temperature effect on them. And we can now go to work and we close the blind thinking, you know, well, we're okay. There isn't going to be an issue with temperature.
Oh, fantastic. And the $1 million question for you, Ian, is: would you recommend WindowTreat to your friends?
Most definitely. Sorry, Steve. Yes, most definitely. You're jumping in there straight away. Definitely. We have already, you know, when people have come and they've seen it, and they've been pretty wowed by this closing blind above them. They've asked who fitted it, who was the company, and yeah, we most definitely would recommend to anyone to get this blind if they have the issues that we had, and that was the extreme sunlight and extreme heat. Definitely.
Ian, thank you ever so much for your wonderful feedback, and I'm delighted that you, Heidi, your wife, your pets are all happy. So that makes us at WindowTreat very happy too.
Fantastic, Steve. That's yeah, superb. Thank you.